Hi, so you just went thrift shopping, got something that you liked, but it's not your size. So you go home and then I'm just like, I can do this, I can tailor it. But you don't know the first thing of tailoring. So here's a guide of what to do and like guidance of how to put in your thread, what this means and how to fill that up and how to maneuver. So we're going to be using the Brother lx3817g. Let's start. First thing, we turn on the switch on the right side of the machine. It will turn on the light. There's a little lever on the right side inside that if you press down, it will go hold your fabric. If you leave it up, you can adjust whenever you have to take the thread out. That's what you're gonna do. To open where the bobbin has to go, there's normally this little package right here. So you just basically pull it out and it should let you open the bobbin. Like I showed you before, this is how the bobbin should look like. Yeah, so it still has some threads from the previous project. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna be using a different color so you are able to see it when I put it through. Some few things that I would recommend you to know is what the settings are. So I will recommend messing around. Each one has their own meaning for it. And if you ever want to go in reverse, you're gonna pull this button or like just push it down and just like there's a pedal on the bottom, so you're just gonna be like whatever you're going through, you're gonna go back. So it's gonna go back, but you have to hold this down. So our bobbin, it's made specifically for ours. So what I'm gonna do right now is gonna set it up from the top so you can see first how we put the thread in. So I have this blue thread and I'm gonna stick it in right here. Whenever we're putting our thread, you have to make sure the thread is going on the right side because it does need to do a loop. So you're gonna go put it in between this little hook corner, and then you're gonna wrap it around, and then you're gonna cross it so it does like a little X. If you can see, it's a little X right here. So you're gonna go underneath, wrap it around, and pull it through. As soon as you pull it through, there's gonna be, I'm gonna pull this string that we have to this side. So there's gonna be this little plastic out. Before we even put the thread between that, I'm gonna go back with the bobbin. There's gonna be a little hole right here. Let's see. It's this little hole that you're gonna put the thread inside and wrap it around a little bit. So the hole has to be on the top. So you pull that up. See that? There's gonna be a wedge in between and where you're gonna put it inside. On the same time, you're gonna push the bobbin to the side. Okay. You're gonna put pressure on the pedal, and it should start wrapping for you. So you can go slow or fast, however you want to be comfortable. You can normally cut the thread that's on top, but I normally use that as a guidance so I can pull it out easier just in case it messes up. And whenever you feel more comfortable, you can just change. So you'll get your scissors, snap that, and pull it out, and you have your bobbin ready. So like I said, we're gonna cut the top part. I'm gonna cut this thread as well. So you're trying to keep it as even as possible. Any loose threads, you try to adjust that. So next thing is you're gonna put the bobbin in, but there is a format that you have to do it. You're gonna wrap it around. There's gonna be a little curve in, so you're going to try to put that inside, and there's going to be a little knife inside, like a little knife that will cut it out. It's done properly, and then you're just going to put back your little door that you have, and there you go. That part is set up. Next thing that we need to do is set up the thread and have it put through the machine. So from here, we're gonna take this out of the thread. So we still have the thread through here to the right side. We're still gonna have it hook in between. Next thing that we're gonna do is pull down right here, number 3. I'm gonna wrap it around the bottom, and then if you don't see it, there's gonna be this little leverage that we have to like go around, and it should hook in the behind it. So if you can't get it right here, just go through the back and then go down. Number 5. And then lastly, this is gonna be a little bit tricky, but there is a little, by the needle, you're gonna hook it in. So it's gonna be like this little, let's zoom in. So there's gonna be this thing right here. Make sure you don't forget to put this in, because if not, it's gonna take all the thread out. So you're gonna go inside this little crevice, and then finally put it through the needle. When you put it through the needle, make sure you put it that way. It might take a little chances, but after some practice, you get that through. And then lastly, you're gonna between the petal, and then you're pushing that up. And that's how you thread a thread. The machine. And lastly, get your gifted item that you have. For example, I have these pants. I have a hole inside my pockets, so I'm just trying to get that situated. So I'm gonna have the thread in the back. I'm gonna put the lever down so I can hold the fabric. I am gonna choose whatever setting I would like to have. So I'm gonna choose my setting from this choices. So I really don't mind whichever I'm gonna have, but I do want it to be tight, so I'm probably gonna be choosing an 8. On the top of the breather, there's gonna be like a little plastic coming out. That's gonna be your nudge of what setting it is on. So I want 8 to be the one I want, and then adjust the pattern. I'm gonna follow the line that is already there. So I'm just gonna follow that through. It does take a few practice. If you want to go slow, go slow. And if I want to go back, like I said, you're just gonna hold this down and patiently do that. And it might take a while for you to get comfortable, but it's fine. Okay. When you're done and the needle is still down, there's gonna be a little plastic thing right over here that you're just gonna move towards you, so it doesn't mess up with the thread, like so you don't have to like get bundled up. So you're just gonna pull that out, and then it'll lift it up, and then you can just move your fabric to the side or back, and you'll see that you have different strings. So what you're gonna do with that is you're gonna snap it out, and you are good to go. That's my thread. That's all you gotta do.